Hi, you guys. It's Monday, and it looks like it's a super cold day. It's overcast, but day before, what was it? Yesterday morning, it was 32. In the morning, this morning, it was 47. So I'm sure it's because of the cloud cover. But our friends took off this morning, and I forgot to take a picture of that dinner I was going to show you. It turned out really good. So check out the last vlog. I've got the recipes for all the things that I made for them that night, including my one serving of meat, which I didn't eat a lot of. I just really wasn't, I'm not a big meat eater. You guys know I've said that before. But today I am home for the day, working on some stuff for work with NAU. And I'm going up to Flagstaff tomorrow to see my dad. He was in the hospital for longer than we thought. He was supposed to just be in the hospital for a couple of days until they got him rehydrated, but then his chest infection got worse, and they were even having people put on a mask when they came in to visit him. And so then yesterday they moved him over to the care center at his assisted living facility. They have part of the facility has apartments, like where my dad lives, and everybody is pretty independent. And then they have a memory care unit where people are not independent. And then they have another section that is like a long-term, it's kind of like a little hospital, but it would be where people are recovering. So if somebody breaks a hip and all their major treatment has been taking place, and now all they need to do is recuperate and have physical therapy, then they can get transferred there. So my dad got transferred back there, which is good because he was anxious to get back there. And whenever any of his friends, like whenever somebody they know there ends up in that care facility, then they all just walk down the hall, because it's literally down the hall. They walk down the hall and go visit their friends. So I know that all of these people he is friends with will come and visit him, and that will make him happy. Hey guys, I never got around to putting makeup on today. I decided instead to give myself a facial spa day. So I have a mask. It's kind of like a leave-on mask. Anyway, so that's why I look the way I do. I'm outside right now, and so is Mary. I only let her out. Did you have something to say to us? Okay, so yeah, today, like I said this morning when I was on my walk, I was just doing a lot of work for my university work. Look at Mary, she's so happy. Yeah, that's rolling around and getting dirty. I do have to be out here with her though, because when we came out here, when I let her outside and I walked out, I saw a bird on the other side of the yard. It wasn't just a bird, it was a hawk that would have probably tried to carry her away. I don't think it would have been successful, which means it would have picked her up, dug its big talons into her, then dropped her, and that wouldn't have been good. Okay, anyway, starting to paint my nails for Valentine's Day. This just got on my base coat and coat one of my polish, which I think is quite pretty. It's not a new polish. Can't quite remember what it's called. Julie? Maybe? I got it in a subscription box last year, I think. Anyway, kind of an uneventful day, sort of, and I'm going to make cabbage soup for dinner, which sounds really unappetizing to me, cabbage soup, but everything in this Oh She Glows Everyday Cookbook has tasted really, really good, so I'm guessing it's going to taste really, really good. So tonight I'm making a soup recipe. It's a cabbage soup, which I wouldn't think would taste that great, but it's called Metabolism Revving Spicy Cabbage Soup, but it comes from the Oh She Glows Everyday Cookbook, and everything has been good so far. She even prefaces this by saying that cabbage isn't one of those things that's high on her list of things that make her excited, but that she likes this recipe. So anyway, adding everything in right now, and I guess after it's not one of those ones that you blend up and make creamy. It does have red lentils in it, and I don't know. To go on the soup, I'm going to make this cashew sour cream, and this is a big batch. It actually makes 2 cups, so I cut it in half to make a cup, which is going to be more than what we need tonight, but it stays good in the refrigerator, and I thought it would be good to go on, you know, tostadas or whatever else I make in the coming week. And this is just made with cashews that you either sit in water overnight or you let them sit for a half an hour in boiling water. And so that's usually what I end up doing. It also calls for some water, some lemon juice, some apple cider vinegar, and then salt to taste. Here it is, and it is quite tasty. Gosh, you guys, that cabbage soup was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, John thought it was too. I mean, who would think cabbage soup would be good? But let me tell you that the thing that was necessary to make it so good was that cashew sour cream.
Not
seriously.
sour cream.
Well, you know, he's gonna balk at everything. Anyway, yum. Really. Okay, guys, I realized I hadn't weighed myself this morning. I have decided that I weigh myself more than once a week, but I haven't weighed myself. I don't think I've weighed myself since last Tuesday, and I thought, oh gosh, you know, I wanted to do it at least every Tuesday because that's, you know, the beginning of the study, although I started this 4 days before the actual study began. So I've been on this diet for 18 days now, the plant-based diet. So I stripped. I was like, okay, I've had 1 cup of coffee, but I went ahead and I stripped down, I mean, socks and everything. And I've lost 7 pounds. 7 pounds total. So 3 in the last week. So I'm so excited I can hardly stand it. And I'm shocked because, you know, Sunday I had red meat for my one thing for the week, and I've been eating a lot. So I just assumed that I would have not really lost much or that I would have gained. And here I am down 7 pounds and I'm just tickled pink. So I'm on my way to Flagstaff. It is a seriously overcast day, although it's 55 degrees here. And I think on Friday it's supposed to be 77 as a high. I'm so excited about that. And Flagstaff will be probably, what, 40 degrees as a high today, which is kind of average for this time of year in, you know, in the winter for that part of the state. But I think that's all I have to say for right now. So I'll just... Okay, dang it, you guys. I guess I should have checked the weather, but it's just sprinkling. Okay, and I'm going to stop this video right now because it looks like I'm entering into some fog. I'm sitting here at Peter Jungle with my friend Pam, who will not let me show her on camera. There's her pretty dress. And so we just had cilantro jalapeno hummus with pita bread that we've polished off. Now we have sauteed vegetables. We're sharing this, and this is a lavash pizza, and we had them leave the cheese off. So I finished having lunch with my boss, who's also one of my best friends, and that was so good, you guys. Lavash pizza from Pita Jungle with it's supposed to have feta and is it mozzarella? I don't know. But I asked for it with no cheese, and so basically it's this thin cracker that had a bunch of vegetables on it. So between that and those roasted vegetables, I got my vegetables in for the day. Not leafy greens. I still need to have a smoothie. I'll probably have that tonight when I get home, because I'll need to get my fruits and my leafy greens in. But I got my legumes in from having the hummus, and that cilantro jalapeno hummus is amazing. So I am now heading over to the assisted living facility where my dad is, but visiting him in the care unit. And I don't know really what to expect. As I just left seeing my dad, I was there for a couple of hours, and he's good. You know, at the beginning, he seemed pretty weak and like his talking wasn't very good. One of his friends, there's a group of ladies that he hangs out with, and one of them was sitting there with him, visiting with him, which is nice because it's just down the hall. So, anyway, then he went to physical therapy, and he kind of started to perk up a little bit toward the end of physical therapy. And then we were talking, and then we FaceTimed my brother who lives in Florida, and my dad just perked up over that and started talking a lot. And then some other friends of my mom and dad's came to visit him, and so by the time I left, and a not a physical therapist, physician's assistant came to check in on him too. So by the time I left, he was doing a pretty good job of talking. I think maybe he just hasn't been talking as much, just the normal social stimulation. And so, he's just kind of out of practice, I guess. But he was doing all right with that. He's weak, but I was there. He was sitting on a couch, and a wheelchair was sitting next to him. And when I turned my back, he got himself up and into the wheelchair by himself. I was like, Dad. So anyway, it was, I don't know what the deal is, but everybody who was working with him was talking like in a few weeks he'll be able to go back to his apartment. So that was good. So the class is over, and after class tonight, they always give us a sample of something. Tonight was this kale salad. It was kind of unexpected a little bit. I kind of thought it was going to be like, I don't know, like a raw salad, but it was sort of like partially cooked kale, not completely, but partially. And then it had walnuts and mandarin oranges, and then there was a dressing that did not have any oil in it. They'll send us this stuff that was drizzled over it, and I actually had 2 servings because I have an hour's drive to head home, and I'm hungry. I still am, actually. But that was pretty good. There was a counselor lady there tonight who talked about how we can, just the difficulties of keeping yourself going on something like this, how we have sabotaging thoughts, and just changing our way of thinking. Instead of saying I can never do this, then what we can think instead. And my friend who's doing this study with me, she's really at that place and having a difficult time right now. But most people do have a difficult time a couple weeks in, because they're going through sugar withdrawals and just having cravings for cheese. I remember I just said to my friend, just wait till after week 4, because for me, I remember that everything changed after the 4th week, that I started instead of just like, this is gonna be grueling and I'm just gonna do it for the 9 weeks and prove to myself it's gonna be a good challenge. After 4 weeks, I started envisioning that I could actually do this for the long haul. Okay, you guys, I want to show you this yogurt, I guess I would say. This is called Almond Dream, and it says made from real almonds. This is not a milk product, so it is plant-based. I've tried, this is strawberry, and then there's another one I tried that was mixed berry. Let me tell you what I think of it, and then what I just mixed in with it. When I very first tried it, I only bought 2 containers because I wasn't sure what I would think of this. I really do like yogurt. I tasted it. It did not taste like yogurt, really. It's thinner, but that doesn't bother me if it's not as thick as yogurt. But it just doesn't have the tang that yogurt has. I had my husband taste it. He liked it. So then anyway, I ate the other cup of it and said, I don't know. So I just now opened this, and once again, it doesn't really have that same tang. So I thought, well, if it's tang I'm missing, what would happen if I added something to it? So I added in a couple teaspoons of lime juice, believe it or not, into this, and it actually made it taste good. So it's nice because this just counts as your nuts serving in the plant-based thing, but it's a whole lot better with a little zip added to it.